never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you drive me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Won't you kiss me? Ain't no way. Want you, want you. Come and try me now, so come and try me now. I was never left alone. I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you drive me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Will you kiss me? Ain't no way. I was never left alone.
Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing today? Welcome to another 1/3 show. It's our first show for the month of July, but this is the second installment. We're doing a little. We're starting fresh. We're starting new. We're going to come at you with more topics, but more cohesive topics to give an overlining or overarching theme. So we can have a conversation and give you something to think about. And feel free to just be in the comment section, champion, whatever. But I just want to know, how are you guys? How was your weekend? You know, it was a 4-day weekend. It was the 4th of July. There was a lot of things going on, a lot of fireworks popping off everywhere. You know, for me, you know, it was raining. So it was a lot of rain going on over here. But just want to hear your thoughts. How was your weekend? You know, a lot of times when you have a long weekend like that, you get that weekend hangover, and then you get that 3-day or 4-day weekend hangover, and then you come into the office and y'all tuckered out, and then it makes the next week longer than what it is when you have a short week. So how's everybody doing? This is just DeAndre. And we're going to get into some topics today. We're going to talk about the NCAA. They had a rule change. There's some things going on in Japan, considering with the Tokyo Olympics. Also, we're going to talk about the policy, the marijuana policies and stuff like that, and it's also piggybacking off of what it going against the Olympics and stuff like that, but just marijuana policies and how they are changing and stuff like that. So the people that's in the chat that showed up, please hit the like button as you enter, and let me get a shout out to my people, to the faithful few, the loyal people that showing up early, always on time, pulling up a chair. Shaka Rod King Black, what's going on, family? How you doing? We got CRU Reality, you know what I'm saying, FBA, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Your Cali J, what is popping? What is going on? How's everything? I hope everything is good with you and yours over, you know what I'm saying, over the weekend. Everybody got home safely. I'd like to give a shout out to my man CJ. One of his longboard buddies passed away this past July 4th weekend. And they're raising money for his funeral and stuff like that within that skate community. So just, you know, tomorrow's not promised a day, but, you know what I mean, keep my man CJ, and, you know, he was real close to the dude. The guy that passed, his name was Mark. So, you know, man, to my man CJ, I got you, fam, bringing awareness to it. And people, please be safe during the holidays, because that's where a lot of people lose their life because of, you know what I'm saying, relaxing and stuff like that. But anyway, on a, you know what I'm saying, sorry to hit you with that bad news, but on a lighter note, we you know, I just wanted to talk about this real quick before we get into the bolts and stuff, the nuts and bolts of this. I've been seeing in the news a lot about. I read a couple of articles about Sierra Richards. I guess that's how you pronounce her name. The woman that was the fastest woman in the world, but because I guess she failed the drug test, it wasn't doping, but failed the drug test. I don't know if her world record that she broke stands, because she used it during the competition, because she heard about her biological mother passed away, even though she didn't have a relationship with her, but she heard that her biological mother passed away. And so, you know what I'm saying? So you're going on your, so heard that her biological mother passed away, and she used marijuana to ease her anxiety, ease a lot of other things. I've seen people use worse stuff, alcohol, cigarettes, things of that nature, painkillers. They're all legal, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's the policy we need to talk about, but it is a rule in place. And she accepted full responsibility. But as the echo chamber goes, as people want change and change, she's starting to backtrack, because people are talking about, they are talking about boycotting the Olympics. And there was one of the Olympic participants on the track team. She was saying there are other athletes that work hard to get to the Olympics, 4 or 5, maybe their whole life, and they're black athletes, and you're not going to support the Olympics because someone clearly broke a rule violation that they knew about and they took accountability for, where we didn't do that. Everybody goes through things, and it's a shame that's what's going on with, you know, the young lady, but at the same time, she took accountability for it, right? And what I'm starting to say is, there's a lot of things for you to boycott. There's a lot of things for you to get up in arms about and to commit change. Um, but and even these policies with marijuana, you know, marijuana may be legal in the state that she was in, but federally it's not legal, and we need to get around that. We need to push for that and all these other things. But we do have a standard to set. We do have a standard to set. You know what I'm saying? We do have a standard to set. And if we don't set these standards, then, you know, it is what it is. So that's just my thoughts on it. It's an article about it still running around in the news. You'll just see it just perusing through. But let me know what your thoughts are. You know, how do you feel about it? But those are just my thoughts on it. That's just my opinion. We free to have our own opinion. I don't think you should boycott the Olympics because of just that. You know what I mean? She clearly broke a rule, you know, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we need to change those rules, and we need to look at, you know what I mean? And this is where I'm talking about the NCAA and these things, and we'll get into that, of course. So, hey, Ruby, what's going on? Shar, the producer, is in the house. Let me go back up here and say what's going on to Shar. Shar, the producer's in the house. Once the producer gets here, the clock the clock starts. So the clock starts. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. What's going on, Ruby? What's going on? How you doing? Appreciate it. You know what? If anybody, so I'm gonna explain something to you about the setup, right? I'm doing some things differently. It took me a little bit to set this up. I got to set this up like 45 minutes prior because until I'm in the country, so my internet is on some AOL dial-up modems type stuff, right? It's not the best internet in the world. But once my internet situation gets upgraded, it's because of availability. It has nothing to do with financials and stuff like that. But once my internet gets upgraded, I already have my area that I'm gonna do the live streams in already set up. So I don't have to, do too much. I can just mark things off. But with the setup, I'm using a Sony A600. The Sony A600. You can use any like DSLR with a cam link. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm using, and I'm actually using a prime lens, which is like basically it doesn't zoom in and out. It doesn't go 35 or 70. I'm talking a lot of nerd stuff, but it has one focal length, and it's like it goes like f4 or f1.8. So basically, a lens that you have that only goes one focal length, doesn't do anything extra, is very crisp, very clean. Now, for me to nail this focus, I can't really kind of move my head too much out of this little range, because if I go back here, I'm a little blurry, and if I come back up in here, I'm more, what I'm saying, I'm more crispy. So I kind of stay right here, so what I mean, your eyes don't melt from the crispiness. But appreciate it. And then I got some lights. You gotta have some lights. I'm dark. I need all the lights I can get. I need the sun. I need all of that. I can get all of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know about the setup and stuff like that, there's links in tutorials and YouTube and all of that other stuff. But this is what I'm rolling with. You can roll with a webcam, but having lighting helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? And my audio, I got a mic here. So it's just out of frame, so you don't see the mic. But because I don't really like the mic being in your face while you're talking. I just want it just a little bit out of frame so it's not distracting. So it's just me and you, so we can talk. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So with that being said, so how's everybody's weekend? You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to get in here. We chop, you know what I mean? Because this is more interactive. You know what I'm saying? This is more interactive. You know what I mean? But how was y'all weekend? I'm like, I know, if y'all in the major cities, they was really popping off them fireworks and stuff like that. I also heard in the news that there was a baseball player, I think, and he died. He's a college athlete. I think he died over the weekend because he lit off a firecracker, one of those M80 firecrackers, and the firecracker literally like hit him in the chest and killed him. So, I've always it was an NFL player years ago that blew his fingers off. He's still in the league, but he almost cost himself some stuff. So, during these holidays, especially during the summertime, you know what I'm saying, people light off firecrackers between now and Labor Day. So be safe out there with the firecrackers. There was a guy, he was an ex-NFL player, and he just recently drowned in his pool. So, watch out for your kids, watch out for yourself, going to the beach, all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Watch out. You know what I mean? Watch out. So watch out if you can. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, let's get down to business, right? Shall we? All right. So the first order of business. Okay. The first order of business is we're going to be talking about some news. Now, it's been raining so bad in Japan, it's been horrible, right? People have been going through a lot of stuff lately, especially the Olympics and stuff are coming, but we're going to bring this in. Okay.
A huge search and rescue operation is underway in Japan tonight after a landslide swept away an entire section of a city. The disaster was triggered by heavy rains and more than a dozen people are missing. Kate Creedon reports.
Locals could hear it before they could see it. A wall of water and mud collecting everything in its way. Furniture, cars, entire homes swept up in its rage.
Okay, so the area in which this is happening is Atami. Okay, Atami is about Atami is about train type away. So on a bullet train, Atami is about I would say 15 to 20 minutes on a 15 20 minutes. On a bullet train or a local train, it's about 25 minutes, right? So that's not too far when you're talking about commuting. Okay. So it's not that far. It's actually on the other side of, because I live in the valley, I live in a flat area, but there's mountains surrounding me on both sides, and then there's the ocean because I'm on the peninsula side. So this is on the other side of Mount Fuji. Okay, so this happens a lot. Every time it rains, this happens a lot.
Power poles exploding as they were torn from their foundations. This driver, while trying to avoid the initial trickle, unknowingly turns into the path of destruction. The landslide struck in the seaside city of Atami, 2 hours south of Tokyo, the concoction of debris and earth continuing to creep through the streets long after the moment of impact. At least 19 people are missing, with 10 homes destroyed. A search and rescue mission now underway.
So what I want to tell y'all is, like, this happens every year, right? There's like an earthquake. There's like, it rains too much. There's, there's mudslides. There's sometimes there's avalanches, like snow coming down. It's too much snow cover where the roofs collapse. It's always something happening in this country. So it's safe, when it comes to people, but then you got to worry about Mother Nature and the elements. You know what I mean? So, like I said, there's no perfect place in the world. There's no safe place in the world. You have to worry about something. But here's the crazy part. This happened a couple of days ago. Probably by next week, it won't even look like that. It'll be cleared out. The houses won't be there, and it'll look like it never happened. It's amazing how they do that. But I feel sorry for those people. Now, you would think with all of this happening right now that it would have been more people, because if it was like, I can only speak for being in the U.S. Oh man, it'd have been a disaster, right? Just like that thing in Florida with the whole condominium collapsing, right? The whole condominium collapsing, like, well, half of it collapsing, and they still looking for people, and they just trying to do a recover. They're not even trying to search for survivors. They're just trying to do a recover now because it's been too long, right? So with that being said, is when you go travel, you go to these countries, you need to do your research. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to, and this time in Japan, mid-May to almost the first or second week in July, it rains. And then it gets real hot. Like right now, the humidity is wet. And what I mean wet is raining, but it's humid. It's like 80 degrees, but it feels like it's like 95. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically the heat index is 2 showers a day, because you want to take a shower before you leave, and you want to take a shower when you get home. Because just doing minimal movement, you just sweat. Yeah, Ruby, I'm like, it's no advance, but it comes with the territory of living at the foot of a mountain. People don't think about those things like irrigation and why, when you start digging in the mountains and start like getting metals out in quarry, the mountain itself actually has the rainwater go down into the aquifers. And when you start putting civilization places like plumbing and sewage and all of that stuff, it actually rips out the natural way that water is stored and collected and actually fertilized. Like trees will suck up that water and all of that other stuff. Like people don't know. They're like, that's why you have to get a geological study. And if they didn't actually was masters of the land that they're on and have geological studies, it'd have been way worse than this with just 20 people dead or missing or injured. So I'm gonna continue to play it. Hold on. Continue playing it for you.
Those who were high enough to be safe left in disbelief, recording the extent of the devastation. The region had been battered by heavy rain for several days, causing widespread flooding and smaller landslips like this one. Precursors to a force no one saw coming. Kate Creedon, 9 News. Water and mud collecting everything in its way.
A final decision.
Disbelief, recording the extent of the devastation.
Yeah.
The region had been
really
battered
bad
by heavy rain for several days, causing wide.
Now, y'all probably asking yourself, like, and let me bring this up. You're probably asking yourself, where are they going? Well, they're still going to work. Yeah, like you would think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still going to work, right? You still going to work? Yes. Yes, they're still going to work. They don't care. Like, look, earthquake happened, like the earthquake in 2011 happened, they were still going to work. People were walking to work. Restaurants was open and there was no power, and they was still, as long as they had gas, they was in there with candlelight eating. Like, people walk around with cash all the time. So, the electronics going down means nothing. You know what I mean? So let me see what Ruby says here. Is it more expensive to live on higher ground? Yes, because earthquakes. Most of the houses are made out of wood framing and very less insulation to a certain degree. They're very partial on the insulation. And a lot of houses are not made of brick because brick doesn't sway and move when it comes to earthquakes. And they have a lot of them. And what's going on, Jay Sean? What's going on with family? But yeah, they have a lot of them. So that's why it's more expensive to live on higher ground, because you're gonna have to get it up there, you're gonna have to crane it up there, and then you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's harder living on higher ground. And Japan is very mountainous and hilly. Let's see, Japan, the population in Japan is, what I've heard, is like almost half the population of the United States in California, using only 10% of the landmass. That's Japan. So, it's wild. It's wild. So let me play the last of this.
Widespread flooding and smaller landslips like this one. Precursors to a force no one saw.
Now look at that. That is crazy. Like, those are houses that just got demolished and people were in them, and they're gone with the wind. It's like you're drowning in like quicksand. Like, they're just flowing quicksand.
Coming. Kate Creedon, 9 News.
Okay, so that's what happened in Japan. The video is in the description. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, if you want to, like, you know what I'm saying, you want to know about it. If you would like to read about it, here's the article. Yeah, 20 people died, Jay Sean. Yeah, only 20 people though. Like, I'm just saying, like, people like, oh, 20 people died. Oh my God, no, that the way that is, and the way that town's compact, only 20 people dying. That's actually not bad. Now we're moving on to the next thing. Now, of course, they're doing the Tokyo Olympics, but yesterday Tokyo just went into a state of emergency during the Olympics because of the spike of COVID-19 cases. Okay, so we're going to go into this and talk about this. A lot of people are pushing back because they're saying, why are you doing the Olympics anyway? They should have waited another year. But, you know, I don't think you can push it off. I don't think they could wait another year and postpone it another year because it doesn't look like we're turning the corner on this whole pandemic thing no time soon, because every time you're supposed to get over a hump, it's another variant, it's another variant. So you still got to be safe out there. You still got to take care of yourself and so forth. Brazil done had like over almost 500,000 deaths already. India is ridiculous. They're not even reporting on it anymore. It's just horrendous, and it's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just horrendous and just terrible. Good, you know what I'm saying? Good evening, there, Vonda. How you doing? How you doing? And you know, but let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
Japan has declared a state of emergency in Tokyo. It will begin on Monday and it's going to last until mid-August. Now, this means that the Tokyo Olympics will be held entirely under emergency measures. Organisers are meeting with government officials this evening to make a final decision on whether that means that the Games will be played entirely behind closed doors.
海外から選手団、大会関係者が順次入国しています。入国前に2回。
Okay, so what they didn't do was they didn't have a voiceover. Usually when you watch the news, they'll have a person with a voiceover that'll speak English or whatever. Like I have it here on my television. So I'm going to unpause this, but they actually have the subtitles under what he's saying. So the athletes and the stakeholders are arriving from overseas. Before entering Japan, they will take 2 COVID-19 tests, another at the immigration. So basically, they're going to take 3 tests. They're going to take 1 at immigration, then they're going to take 2 more when they arrive. So that's what he's basically saying. Hurting pockets, Jay Sean. Okay, after that, they're being tested every day so that we can prevent the inflow of the virus in Japan. That's what he's saying. So I'm just reading this subtitle. So
COVID-19 cases have been soaring in Tokyo in recent weeks. It's reported nearly
Okay, so you see this street right here. This is Shibuya. This is the famous cross in Tokyo. So it's like Times Square in New York, but these aren't that many people. Like this is actually light compared to how many people cross the street on a daily basis every time the light changes.
900 new infections today. At the current rate, experts project that the daily tally could increase to 2,000 next month, and they warn that the medical system could be overwhelmed again as the Olympics begin in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, so now you're probably saying, and the reason I want y'all to hear those numbers, right? Because we were hearing numbers like 3,000, 4,000 a day. I remember when it first happened with New York, it was ridiculous, 5, 6, 8,000. You're talking about India, they getting like one area, right? Is getting like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a day, right? Japan is shutting down Tokyo, Okinawa, and I think Osaka, because that's where they're doing the games at, because they know people are going to do their thing and have parties and spread it more, only with 900, right? And in most states, they're trying to get below like 3,000 to 2,000 if they're having these cases and these spikes. They're trying to get below that. And in the country of Japan, you're talking about 900 is a problem. And it is because it's a smaller country and is densely populated. But that just shows you the level of standards that other countries have versus the country that we have. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, it's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. But yeah, so the Tokyo Olympics is getting demolished right now. Like it is just it was like things just couldn't go right for it, you know. And that's been happening for the last couple of Olympics. That's been happening for the last couple of Olympics. Now we're gonna move on to our next one, where we're going to talk about this, and I'm gonna bring this up far as you know, I'm gonna bring this up far as hold on one second. I'm gonna bring this up far as what's going on, and this is in the policy section. So, and in the policy section, we're gonna talk about this real quick because the last time we had the session, you know, Jay Sean Cerulean, we was all having a conversation about the Bill Cosby thing and so forth. And we had some conversations behind the scenes about this whole Olympics thing with the Sierra Richards, because she can't even participate in the Olympics on the relay because her placement was null and void during when she was doing the World Cup trials to get into the Olympics because of her drug use violation of the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, policy that's made that everybody has to follow. Okay, so now we're going to talk about political policy because it is the U.S. policy, because most places do this to appease the U.S. I'm just going to tell you what it is, right? The policies that are mainly in place when it comes to international competitions and stuff like that, drug policies concerning marijuana and things like that, and even even in the country I'm in, we used to grow freely. Japanese people used to smoke weed prior to World War II, and then the U.S. came in and made them burn it all and all this other stuff and yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? So it's the U.S. that's have been basically pushing these policies throughout the world, or carrying it on from, you know, their other European counterparts. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it, shall we? So I'm going to share the screen and let's bring it up. So the links to the actual to the articles and stuff is in the description box, but I'm gonna place it in the chat for you also. So Sierra Richardson's suspension underscores frustration with Biden's marijuana policy. Now, the Biden marijuana policy, I like how every administration, the media puts blame on the person in the administration. Like the president has overarching authority when it comes to certain rules of law in an overarching thing. The marijuana policy, the Marijuana Act, has been around since like I think the 1920s or 30s, I think, and stuff like that, right? So in the 1800s also too, mid to late 1800s. So this has been a thing that's been instituted by how many administrations before that, and you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Advocates for marijuana legalization are expressly disappointed and frustrated with Biden administration response to Sierra Sha'Carri Richardson's disqualification from the Tokyo Olympic Games, which they say highlights the White House refusal to move forward on cannabis policy. Richardson, a top U.S. track and field star, will not be competing in the Olympics later this summer after testing positive for marijuana, which is a banned substance according to both U.S. and international anti-doping agencies. The suspension for the drug that in no way improved her competition ability was acknowledged as disappointing by President Biden, but he did not take a strong stance as marijuana advocates and Richardson supporters had been hoped for. Okay, so here's the thing. He's the president of the United States. Like no other president have done that. Actually, presidents have actually made it more tougher, and he was a part of, you know what I'm saying, you know, the policy to put black people in jail and so forth, right there, right? Marijuana and the policies that's instituted starts off as a states' rights thing. It's a federal overarching thing. It's a money thing. If we can lock you up for this, it makes money. If it's no longer feasible for us to lock you up for it, and it's not incentivized, through us making money by locking you up, then we're going to make it legal. Just like the prohibition on alcohol. Same thing. A lot of the Kennedys and the Bushes and so forth and the gangsters that came about, even the rise of New Atlantic City really rose because of prohibition. And then they went ahead and they went back and legalized alcohol. Actually, the IRS and the FBI came about because the FBI is actually an armed force of the IRS because of prohibition. Because they couldn't charge you taxes. That's why they would get like Lucky Luciano and Al Capone and mobsters on tax evasion, not the actual crimes they were doing. Money laundering, criminal enterprise, tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? It's all about taxes. It's all about money, right? So once again, it's a states' rights issue, right? Because how can it be legal in this state, but it's illegal federally? That makes no sense, right? So basically, you have to put it into the hands of your state legislator and congressman and city council. So here we go. The rules are the rules, and everybody knows what the rules were going in. Whether they should remain the rules is a different issue, but the rules are the rules. Biden said Saturday, adding that he was really proud of the way she responded. She actually stood up and took accountability for this. Right. But people are pressing the issue that they should give her a pass because of X, Y, and Z, because of this, and that. And here's the thing. There's a proper right and protocol that you try to, how should I say it? You try to go down the right way of changing the rules through the processes. And if those processes aren't working, then you go to other means. Do you get what I'm saying? Now we know, now people are saying, well, it doesn't give any type of advantage. Well, that's not true, right? Because marijuana can help you recover faster. And what I mean by that, it can soothe the pain, it can bring down inflammation. Like people don't know that. CBD has a lot of medicinal purposes, right? People that have arthritis, people that have seizures, things of that nature. What if an athlete is going through anxiety because they're going into a game, right? And they take a little oil to help them focus more with less THC and stuff like that. It can be to a certain degree. It was the tennis girl, the lady that played tennis, Sharapova. She was taking a substance for years because she had nerves when she was playing tennis so she can be better focused, but it was illegal and they finally found out about it and caught her finally, and she's been suspended for tennis for a while now. I said, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand the rules of the rules? Now, should they be changed? Of course they should. Right? Because it's no different than taking an aspirin. It's no different like Lance Armstrong. Let's give it a perfect example, right? Them putting you in a compression chamber does the same thing as you getting a blood transfusion. The blood transfusion is what? The blood transfusion is illegal, but you being in a pressure chamber is legal. Does the same thing. Does the exact same thing. Right? Because the pressure chamber costs more money. They can make money off of it than the blood transfusion. Because what they're doing is they're sitting there cleaning your blood and recycling, putting it back into your system so to give you extra recovery. Whereas in the pressure chamber, it takes time. You need all these. You see what I'm saying? Everything comes down to a money issue. Comes down to a money issue, right? You're not supposed to drink while you're on the job. You can drink when you're off work, but you're not supposed to drink while you're on the job, right? Okay, then. Now, there are people that are dependent on alcohol. So if they don't have alcohol, they start having the shakes. So I got to drink because I'm going to have the shakes, but I need to be operating this crane. You get what I'm saying? Or what was that movie Denzel Washington was in? He did the movie about the guy that landed the plane. He saved everybody's life, but he had this drinking problem. Or on the show House, where he was always popping Vicodin, but he was the top brain when it came to figuring out these medical cases. But he had an addiction and he was always high off of Vicodin. And they did a whole season about his drug. They did a couple of seasons about his drug addiction and stuff like that. Not that you can get physically addicted to weed, but I'm just saying we're setting a precedent here. Let's change the law, but let's not jump off the fence when the rule is set. And the rule ain't just here, there. It's the rule is set. Let's just change the rule and let's go through the steps. She put up big girl pants on and she basically said that this is what I did wrong. Okay. And this is why I wanted to bring this up, because we're talking about these laws and a lot of black people have been sent to jail unfairly with these with this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Michael Carter Williams, what's going on, family? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Hey, what's up, CJ? What's going on, man? I gave a shout out to your homeboy, bro. That passed, man. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know, you know what I mean? This is just my opinion. Y'all can look at it however way you want to look at it. And I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you think about this? Like, how do you think? How do you understand? Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, what is your opinion about rules? I'm like, there are rules, you know what I mean, that should never been instituted. We're not talking about civil. Well, it is a rights issue, right? Because policy is always dealt with rights. But what I'm basically saying is no one's denying her right to compete. She denied herself. She knew what the rules were. She knew not to use the substance, just like all the rest of the Olympians also did. There's also another woman that used a steroid because she had to, and then it wasn't cleared by the Olympic Committee, and she can't compete neither. So, and she needed to use it, and she had a doctor's note, but the Olympic Committee didn't authorize this new version, and she didn't do the proper paperwork, right? It was one woman that was almost not being able to compete because she had to keep sending a change of address, and they were moving around the camp. And when the people come to give you your urinalysis or you know what I mean, they pop up on you, she wasn't there. And luckily that she, you know, got a notification on her phone to say someone rang her doorbell. And then she saw it, and then she showed the Olympic Committee, and they had to say, oh, okay. See, there's a lot of rules that they have that do certain things because they had a problem with steroids. They had a problem with drug use. They had a problem with all of these things. And the problem with society is we either don't give too much of a care or we give too much of a care. We don't know how to get to that balance. But that's what being us as a society, that's what being the people, we have to put our money where our mouth is, and we got to put actions to words. You know what I mean? Let's read what you got. Let's see what Jason said. I agree with the rules. These are not American rules. These are rules for all international athletes. Appreciate it, Sean. Appreciate it. Yeah. I totally agree. And this is not ragging on her per se, because she took accountability. So let's give her. We always want people to take accountability when they're right. But we never stand up and give honors due when a person's wrong and make a mistake, and they sit up there and they be an adult and they take accountability. Okay, so now I'm going to bring up this next article about, and this is what the Supreme Elder DJMuziq was talking about on his channel, on his station, CRBJ. He was talking about this yesterday, about how we all show up for the presidential election, but we don't show up for our state and city council and things of this nature, right? You know what I'm saying? And let me see, screen share. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this up here. Okay, so Virginia just legalized recreational marijuana. 1st of July happened, right? Virginia just legalized it. Okay. Maryland is decriminalized. They ain't even prosecuting prostitution. They're just giving you a fine if it gets out of hand or whatever. DC was already legalized recreational and stuff like that. So Virginia now is legalized. Maryland is medical, so it's going to go to recreational probably coming up this next election or whatever, right? Now North Carolina has like some type of decriminalization, but it's more CBD-ish. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you, right? So this is April 27, 2021, right? And this is what they're doing in North Carolina. Now, you need Texas, there's some like thing of medical and I think a little bit of decriminalization, right? Georgia has decriminalization and they're working on a medical stance. So Florida is full recreation. They got dispensaries. So now, if North Carolina goes, South Carolina going to follow suit, right? And then the only thing that you have left is what? Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Texas. Nevada, New Mexico, and California is already on board. And so is North Dakota to a certain degree. I think there's medical. I think there's medical, not recreational. And Montana is, and then you got Colorado, Michigan is recreational. So you just, I'm like, once you get all of that done, once you get the southern states popping, in Oklahoma, they got more dispensaries than anything. They got dispensaries out the wazoo. So once you get that, once you get it to that point, they got to federally make it legal. You know why? Because they missing out on federal tax dollars. That's why. So here we go. So I'm not going to read all of that, but I'm going to read what HB 617 is. Okay, HB 617 is what they brought forth through the Senate, right? And define state standards for cannabis production and distribution under a system of licensing, regulation, and taxation, right? Distribution of system through licensing. You got to pay a fee to get a license. Regulation, if you don't follow regulations, you'll get a fine. Now, these create jobs for the people that has to enforce these regulations, right? And the licensing company and the people that are making these companies, be it that you're a dispensary or you just sell the paraphernalia or you have a club where you can, we'll get into it. And taxation, that's the key point, taxation, revenue, making revenue. You make revenue, quality of life goes up. There you go, right? Includes lab testing, potency labeling, secure packaging, advertising restrictions, and educational programs. Money, 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 money. I'm going to say this again. Money, 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 money. Allows regulation for growers, producers, processors, retail outlets, and on-site usage establishment, basically clubs. You're going to be able to go into a club or into a lounge, let's just say a lounge, and you might walk in there instead of me ordering, hey, let me get the Hennessy XO. Hey, man, I would like that purple Urkel over there. Or let me get that hybrid. Let me get that bubble gum. Let me get that Granddaddy Kush. Can you mix it up a little half, grind it up for me so I can roll it over here? Like, you know, I mean, people going to be walking around in tuxedos and suits smoking on joints. Cheech and Chong would be proud. So let me continue to read this, right? Establishes a regulation department, provides for the collection of state and local taxes, which proponents contend will pump millions of dollars into government coffers. COVID is just destroying, like when them giving them stimulus checks and unemployment, this is a way to get people back to work. You have to incentivize people to get back to work. make legal use, possession, and cultivation up to 12 plants for 21 people, for people 21 or older for personal use. 12 plants. Most states is 2 to 4. North Carolina talking about 12. That's a whole key. That's a whole key. That's a whole key. I was like, happy birthday, early birthday, Rubes. What's going on? Yeah, these states are taxing weed heavy. They making a killing. Exactly. But this builds up the infrastructure, right? What are they having? They have all these royal towns and all these young people moved out, right? It's getting to the point where you're going to have a main job, a side hustle, a up hustle, a down hustle, and a left and a right hustle. And this is easy to do, right? But this gets people back into a state of working. What's going on, Zero? So what they're saying is, and I wanted to key on this 12 plants right here. 12 plants. Now people think, oh man, I can grow wheat. It's not easy. It's not easy to grow wheat. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. But this is going to be a game changer in the southern states. You're about to see the great southern, like you're about to see the great northern migration. You know what I'm saying? This is about to happen. I'm just letting you know this is going down in the pike in the next 2 to 5 years. You're gonna see Martha Stewart on television showing you how to cultivate your garden of cannabis. She's going to come up with all kinds of recipe. Yeah, this is cannabinoid butter, and we're going to use this to bake these cookies, right? And it's going to be okay. I'm telling you. They're going to have Martha Stewart up there doing that. You're going to have this doing, man, it's going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But now for you people that are stock market watchers, look at the stock market. Start getting into those cannabis stocks now. The cannabis stocks are going to go up. This is going to be the new Bitcoin. Don't come back 5 or 6 months later like people were sleeping on the AMC thing. Get your cannabis stocks now while you playing the stock market. I'm telling you, this is going to be the new thing. This is going to be the new thing. Let's see what everybody's saying down here. What's going on, Queen of the South? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what we got? And so what do y'all think? So let me read this. Let's see. Jay-Zod says, Martha and Snoop gonna be hot boxing on VH1. Yeah, that's gonna happen. The South will raise about it. Yeah. Where the cookies at? Hold on. I love Martha Stewart. She made brownies with Snoop. Yeah, you know they cannabinoid it in there. They ain't want to show you, but it's going to be open. It's going to be so open. You're going to be sitting up there when you seeing like a Bud Light commercial, you're going to be seeing like a cannabis light commercial with 50% more THC. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, go, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be promoted like that. Like I'm telling you, imagine this. You're sitting there watching a Super Bowl commercial, and Steve Urkel Jaleel Wright busts in there with a suspender, like, hold on, are you feeling upset and anguish? Have a purple Urkel on me. And that's what he's gonna do. That's what's gonna happen. I'm like, y'all think this is a joke, but this is what's coming down the pipeline. I'm trying to bring y'all in the full circle. Okay, so before we jump into the bottom half of what we're talking about, we're going to do a commercial break real quick. And we're going to do a commercial break real quick because we got to pay these bills. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to update these drops, but we got things popping off tomorrow. So with that being said, you know what I mean? Let's get it.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the JustAskChar Advice channel on YouTube. Join me every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for an open panel discussion. You'll find myself, Classic Ruby, and others giving our honest opinion, giving several examples, and problem solving. If you have an email for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon. Peace.
Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice Channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.
Hey, folks, it's your nighttime. It's your right time DJMuziq, and welcome to Classic R&B Jams Radio. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing all the hits from the decades, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Right here, Classic R&B Jams Radio. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, soulful sound all around town. Alrighty then, folks. It's your nighttime. It's your right time DJ. Come on, all you smooth, mellow fellows and you hip, laid-back ladies. Join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. for the Blue Lights in the Basement House Party Jams. That's right, brought to you by the Facebook group, The Basement. Each and every week, Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Blue Lights in the Basement, bringing you hit music from the decades, folks. That's right, a little 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little something from today. Blue Lights in the Basement, House Party, Classic R&B Jams Radio, the soulful sound all around town.
All right, so y'all got it. So make sure y'all check out Char tomorrow. It'll be Char. It'll be Classic Ruby. And lovely sis Vonda Neek will be up there sometimes. Maybe the Reverend Pimp Geezy may stop by. He's still on vacation. He's got to recover 4th of July weekend. But make sure you stop by to JustAskChar Advice Channel. The links are in the description box. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so let's get into this latter point. Now we're going to get into the entertainment section, right? We're going to get into the entertainment section of the stream. So the NCAA did a rule change, okay? So the NCAA did a rule change that allows college athletes to actually make money off of their likeness. This means they can get endorsement deals, right? And you're like, wow, this is crazy. About time, right? But there's a lot of businessmen that I respect. Everybody talk about the Warren Buffetts of the world and Jeff Bezos, but there's one man that I respect a lot because he did it on his own. Now, his brother can't rap worth a damn, Silk the Shocker, but I love this man's hustle, this grind. He gets it on his own. He does a lot. He's a pioneer of a lot, and he does it behind closed doors a lot of time. And he's a mover and a shaker, and that's Master P. So let's bring it in, right? And let me bring it in. So I'll let y'all see this.
Today is an interesting day. Yeah. It's the first day that college athletes can capitalize off their name, image, and likeness. Yeah. And bro, you guys already secured the bag, yeah. 2.5 million.
Yeah. Well, 2 million. 2 million. The other deal didn't go through, but it was $2 million deal, and it's incredible. This is going to change the way college athletes want to stay in school.
Now, what y'all don't understand is Master P is an agent. He's still a sports agent. He was actually one of the first black sports agencies. His first client was actually Reggie Bush. I mean, not Reggie Bush. Not Reggie Bush. His first client was old dude. He played for Miami. I forgot his name. He played for Miami, and he went to the Ravens. Then Ricky Waters. My bad. Ricky Waters. Right. Ricky Waters. Very good athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's an advocate for marijuana also. He had to lead the league because of the drug policies, because he didn't want to take the painkillers because he was having CTE issues, and the marijuana was helping him with the CTE issues. And you see how that works, right? All right, we're getting, but you see where this is going, right? So Ricky Williams, right? So Master P got his son a $2 million deal soon as the ruling came from the Supreme Court that made the NCAA do this, right? His son got the biggest bag to date out of anybody. So I want y'all to just think about that for a second. His son's going to college. He's already rich, but he's teaching his son about business and knowing your worth. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'll let him finish talking, and then I'll come back with my thoughts.
So this is a 4-year deal, but I'm proud of my son going to HBCU.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like...
Hold on, wait a minute. He got the biggest bag, and he wasn't going to a nationally college. He's going to a traditional black. So it can be done, right? Last time I checked, the two people on the screen were black. Master P raised his kids. Everybody knows about Romeo because he put him out there, but no one knew about this young man, right? I'm just saying. This is a black man building things, taking care of his kids. This man is about black boys because he actually show your work. He's actually doing what he's doing. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. Y'all take it for whatever worth.
Playing in the pros now.
Right. I mean, because look, today's official. You could sign the paper today, right? Did you guys do it?
I signed a deal with American App Technology Company. So, like my dad said, that's a blessing. Signed a deal between Athlete Wallet with Donald Hogan and Jabari Morgan.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a blessing,
How does it feel to be a millionaire?
It feels good.
That's
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is
19 years old.
This is crazy.
But you know what? He worked so hard.
Yeah.
This is a blessing, and they say when you do right, blessings will keep coming to you. He's been doing right. He's an A student, and that's why this company did this, because they wanted to deal with a student athlete from an HBCU, and when they researched him, he was the top athlete when you pull up HBCU. Yeah. So this is incredible. Shout out to American App for believing in him, and I just think this, and all the other people, I just think it's going to open the doors for so many athletes now. So this is going to be incredible.
Now you guys are already this is your dad, so you guys are already hip to how money works. Mm-hmm. You guys are students of the game. Yeah. So I wonder, most youngsters get a bag, $2 million, and they start blowing it. What's the plan?
I learned from my dad. I'm gonna start off by giving back to the community and everyone around me. I got a camp July 21st.
Oh, so you're doing that? So you're gonna do it?
So, I'm not gonna go into too much of a tangent because I'm gonna just keep it how it is. I'm gonna look into the camera and say this. Men set the standards in society and in the environment. And society goes how men go. If we're about debauchery, dysfunction, and dereliction, the society will be about debauchery, dysfunction, and dereliction. The children, the women, the food, everything. But everything comes down to policy, which is put forth, brought forth, discussed, disseminated by men. I'm gonna let him finish.
I'm doing a camp.
Smart.
Where I'm giving back to the kids. I'm giving out school supplies. And one thing I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna give me something. I'm gonna get a car. My first car.
He ain't never had a car all this time. He never had a car, so he rolled his bike. So this is good. But what I taught him, like you say, financial literacy. So with this program that the school has with your name and likeness, you have to take a financial literacy course.
Oh, that's beautiful.
With the school. So
that's well done. I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yes.
That's great.
And so I told him, I said it's cool to get a car, but he told me, Dad, you know, I've been watching you, so I'm not gonna buy a car. I'm gonna lease it. And,
yes, right off. You're a business now. You're a business
so
now.
Tesla, you getting a Tesla?
I'm getting a Tesla, yo.
But the thing about it is, it ain't coming till 3 months.
Yeah.
So that might be another endorsement. So any other companies, you know, there's a lot of companies coming at us now. So maybe some other.
Which one you get in the X with the wings?
I don't know. It's either between the X or Y. I'm still making my choice right now.
Now, I'm going to talk about this. And when I talk about policy, right? Now, when I was bringing up earlier about the Olympics, people don't realize that what is the pro circuit for a track and field runner? The pro circuit for the track and field runner is the Olympics. It's the Super Bowl. It's the NBA Finals. It's the World Series. It's the Stanley Cup. It's the Wimbledon. It's the Augusta. It's the Masters. It's whatever pinnacle of greatness. When you're talking about sports for track and field, this is the time once every 4 years that the world actually pays attention and care. And this is the only time, because they don't give endorsements deals to people that don't win. Michael Phelps got endorsement deals because he was an 8-9-time Olympian, gold medalist, right? He's the fastest swimmer. He's the fastest man underneath the water, on the water, right? Usain Bolt, because he was the fastest man in the world running, right? When there was the Jackie Jordan Kersey, when she was the fastest woman running, right? Wilma Rudolph, Carl Lewis, Michael Johnson, name them. But the life expectancy for runners, we got the sister Simone Plies, where she's making ridiculous feats of greatness in gymnastics. The U.S. gymnastics team is the strongest it's ever been. I remember when I was growing up and they had the one girl that won the Olympics, the one white girl, and she was on a box of Wheaties. I remember when I met Dominique Dawes and she helped the U.S. Olympic team win their first gold in years because they was cracking down on doping and all of this other stuff that the Russians and the Chinese and everybody else and the Croatians was doing. When it came to certain things like that, we only had basketball and track and field, really, if you really think about it. Right? So what I'm basically trying to say here is that policy drives certain things. So that means that these track and field athletes can get a sponsorship to help them in college, right? They can help their family. They can now worry about their education and take time. And they can get accustomed to money 4 years than to be thrown in it making stupid mistakes. When they become a pro, if they make it, only the top 1% of people that are pro athletes are pro athletes. Let's not get this twisted. I was good at the high school level. I wasn't good enough to get into a good college with a full scholarship because there was dudes way better than me. And I was playing the wrong position. Then I was good at wrestling, but I started too late. If I would have started earlier, right? So I chose to go into the military. People that belong in the NBA, you can call them a bench scrub, the scrubbiest dude in the NBA. Now think about this. Do you know that the veterans minimum with the salary cap and the TV deal at NBA is $2 million. $2 million for a 1-year deal. That's the veterans minimum in the NBA. That means, according to the collective bargaining agreement in the NBA, a veteran can't get no less than $2 million for 1 season. And long as he make it up to the trade deadline, it's guaranteed. This young man is 19 years old, and he, with his father's tutelage and guidance and his team, he secured the veterans minimum in the NBA in college. Now, this doesn't just mean that, because remember what happened to LeBron James. That means you can start making money off your likeness in high school. Think about if LeBron James had this back when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated in high school. He'd have been way ahead of the curve than what he is now. This is a break for us. This is something great for us where we can put things in other avenues and we can become greater because financial literacy. Now you ain't really pushed to go pro so fast. You ain't breaking down your body. Now, if you have the money and the resources, you can eat better. You'll make better decisions. You won't get yourself into certain things. A lot of athletes fell to the wayside because they had to make money and take care of their family, and they could barely eat, and they had to get it how they get it. And this works on both sides of the fence for men and women. And that means that these traditional black colleges can court these people, and they can be open business, not behind the scenes. And they can learn about business and understand things and be financially literate. Now, this is the news that I wanted to bring forth to you, but the reason why I'm doing this is because everything that I'm talking about comes down to a money and a financial issue, because policy is driven by social issues, and social issues is always driven by resources at the end of the day. And unfortunately, in our civilized society, where we forgot how to till the land, and we have to till for work and toil for someone else, we have to use money as compensation for those resources, because the advancement of technology, but the degradation of people. So just wanted y'all to see that in the entertainment section, just to let y'all know with the entertainment section. Okay, so if you would like, and this is off of TMZ, and I'm going to put this here, drop this here, and also I'm going to drop this is the video on the rule change, so y'all can go watch those for yourself. Now we're going to get into the last part of this, which is the true crime. I'm gonna leave the true crime for the end part, because this is not funny at the end of the day. This is not funny at the end of the day, but it is something that did happen. Okay, so this is our true crime segment. Okay, so I'm gonna just play it. Y'all ain't gonna believe it, but we in our true crime segment. So here we go.
British teen accused of murdering 2 sisters allegedly signed a pledge with a demon in blood to kill 6 ladies each 6 months in change for successful the lottery. The particulars of the chilling contract had been heard in the homicide trial of Daniel Hussein, 19, on Wednesday. Hussein is accused of stabbing Biba Henry, 46, and Nicole Smallman, 27, to loss of life final June at a London park, the place the social employee and photographer had been celebrating Henry's birthday, in accordance to the outlet. Jurors had been introduced with a duplicate of Hussein's handwritten deal with the devil, which was discovered in his bedroom and signed in his blood. Under the ghastly pact with Lucifuge Rofocale, the supposed prime minister of hell, Hussein pledged to perform a minimum of 6 sacrifices every 6 months for as long as I am free and physically capable. He additionally promised to kill only women, build a temple for you, and do everything that I have promised. Daniel Hussein is seen on surveillance footage at a grocery store, the place he allegedly bought knives. In return, Hussein requested to win the Mega Millions super jackpot, be rewarded with wealth and power, and to never be suspected of the crimes by the police.
I'm just going to bring myself in here for this one. I'm going to bring myself in here for this one. This happened in London. I'll let it finish. The article is in the description box. Y'all can read it for yourself, but I'm gonna let this finish.
Information present that Hussein purchased a number of lottery tickets in the days following the brutal slayings.
All right. So, what's your thoughts on that? I just hope some of these parents won't try to become managers like Britney Spears. I don't know, man. I can't call it. When I saw this in the news, I was like, wow, this is off the wall, right? Now we have one more. We have one more. There was a woman. I guess this was in North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. For our people that stand in Fargo, North Dakota, watch out for this chick. I'm gonna bring her up on screen so y'all understand who she is. You know what I mean? Crazy alert. Crazy alert. So, woman accused of plowing through her ex-boyfriend's funeral, now charged with vandalizing Jesus statue. This is the woman in question right here. Okay. What this has done, what this COVID has done in society is we've been having a lot of people with a lot of people that were already kind of on edge or not even on edge. Mental issues have been checking in and checking out. And it's been, you know, I'm sorry to say this, but people do need human interaction to a certain degree. I don't care how much you are a loner. I'm an only child, but I still need human interaction to a certain degree. So people need ways of dealing with their traumas and troubles. Okay, but let's just get into the true crime thing, right? So a Minnesota woman who allegedly plowed through a cemetery during her ex-boyfriend's funeral services has been accused of a prior act of chaos. They call it an act of chaos. Okay. Blair Whitten, 28, made headlines in May after she allegedly tried to run people over at a Fargo, North Dakota cemetery on Saturday as they were putting Colin McDonald, 24, to rest. So she was 4 years older than her ex-boyfriend. Multiple complaints report that Whitten was driving her vehicle inside the cemetery in a manner with extreme indifference for human life, which created substantial risk of serious bodily injury to persons in the cemetery. Jessica Snickerdecker, Schindeldecker, wow, they got some names here, with Fargo Police Department told local station KVRR at the time she knew she wasn't welcome, and what she did instead of leaving peacefully was try to run someone over and run somebody else over, which was me. Giltrick Charimbo, McDonald's current girlfriend, told local outlet KVL in May nobody was physically injured at the cemetery. Whitten became persona non grata at the funeral service after reportedly persona non grata. My bad. I'm sorry. Persona non grata. My bad. I'm reading that wrong because there's a penning bizarre negative social media posts following his death. She even alleged posted that she had killed McDonald, even though he died in his sleep following surgical complications. Friends and family of McDonald say they've been dealing with threats and harassment for Whitten for at least 5 years before McDonald's death. She has been charged with 1 count of misdemeanor reckless endangerment as a result of a cemetery incident. She pleaded not guilty back in May. Now it appears that Whitten is accused of another bizarre act. Just weeks before the cemetery incident, a marble statue of Jesus, which stood outside of St. Mary's Cathedral in downtown Fargo, was spray painted black during the morning hours of April 17th. Local outlet KVRR reports instigators alleged that Whitten was the culprit. She's been charged with 1 count of misdemeanor criminal mischief in connection with the statue's vandalization. And she appeared in court on July 2nd and was released on the condition that she appear for further hearings. I'm going to put it up on screen. So y'all see it? Watch out. Stay away from this woman. I'm like, stay away from this woman. If you see her, run in the other direction. Run again. Pick up your people. Yeah. All right. Y'all get a good look. Stay safe out there. My homies out there in North Dakota. All right. So I'm going to bring off the screen. All right, everybody. So, it's that time once again. Say what's up over there to the our lovely producer once again, Char Willie. And make sure you check her channel out tomorrow. Make sure you're on time because Char don't play. You have 2 hours and 30 minutes to enjoy yourself, or you're going to have to come back the next week. Oh man, y'all Shy, you ain't. No, I'm done with you, Shy. I'm done with you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. But appreciate y'all coming through. Can I get a tally for how many likes we have on the stream so I can bless the stream and thank you very much. We also like to give a shout out and a congratulations to Char Willie for making it over 1,000 subs. She will soon have a community tab. It took her a long time to get there, but with your support and with her constant, with her moving constantly and everything like that, and actually being consistent with her content and actually focusing on her content, because she has helped build a lot of channels. We are happy that Char Willie made it to 1,000 subs, and we want us all to be great. But we know that it's a long road because we do not like to devolve into debauchery, dysfunction, and dereliction in these spaces. We like to present things in a professional manner, but not too much where we don't get to relax and enjoy ourselves and have a good rib and fun. That's it. We got 18. Thank you, brother Michael Carter Williams. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. And let's do it. Turner. 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 All right. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. I had to do this a little early today because I got stuff to do. So, we do have lives and we don't stay on YouTube all day. And it is summertime, and we got to be outside with it. Next week, there may not be a show because I got to go make some money in Tokyo. Sorry. I got a project that I've been working on for a minute, and I got to go to Tokyo and make some money. Yeah. So hopefully, the project goes through. I'm sure it will. And you know what I'm saying, and I got to go work on that. And I'll be gone, you know, probably around that time. So there won't be a show next week. But I'll let you guys know if not. If there's not a show next week, then maybe early in the week I may do one of my just spare the moment random thought, you know, streams where I'm just up here. We just have I just go off the top of the head in the dome and talk. I'm trying to get more consistent with my content, and I might have to. I'm gonna start uploading regularly pre-recorded content for the 1/3 show itself. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank you once again. You guys have been amazing. My mods in my chat, you guys are great. The people that are watching in the clouds, you guys are great. The people that are in the chat that came through, once again, the people that hit the likes, and the people that will watch this on the restream, thank you very much. Less than 90 minutes? That's great. No one will beg you to be great, but we will hold you accountable. To everyone, please have a safe summer. It's getting hot. Drink plenty of water. Hydrate. Get some salts in you. Enjoy it. Eat that watermelon. Eat that chicken. All right, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, have fun. Have a good summer. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll give y'all some content later on, but it's looking like the 1/3 show won't be happening next week, next Thursday. Check out Char tomorrow. Check out on Saturday for article reactions also. Check out the Supreme Elder for Jazz in the Blue Lights in the Basement on CRBJ. And then check them out also on Wednesday for On the Beat. And keep that dial there for Keep the Beat. And I'll see you guys next time. You could have been anywhere else, but you came here and you hang with me. And I appreciate that.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you drive me